Greetings, 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 family. What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Chief Kalanago with another video with a great build. You know what I'm saying? I want to first give thanks to the great spirit, Mother God, for a beautiful continuation. I want to give thanks to my ancestors, always asking them to use me as a vessel, you know what I'm saying, to bring a change to our people and definitely for the upliftment of our people. So give me a chance to say shalom, aloha, mabrikwa, sakpase, wagwan. All right. Don't forget Asio, Halito, all the greetings. All right. But let's get into this. Okay. We have our indigenous sister with us, goes by, Miss Intelligent, but Candace, to her family. And what it is, I'm gonna have her tell her story, okay? Because while I'm just kind of like giving you a prelude of what's pretty much happening, that will give you guys some time to chime into the live feed, okay? And for me, once again, I put myself in a position because I know our people are going through a form of genocide, all right? Whether it may be paper genocide, whether it may be physical genocide, our people are truly going through it because we are stepping up to the realization that we are actually the indigenous people of the land, all right? And the occupying forces on our land, all right, they are taking advantage of that situation and they're not respecting laws. Okay, they are violating laws, they are violating the Constitution, they are violating treaties, and a lot of our women and children are falling victim to to those type of situations. So our sister that I'm talking to, she was going through, she is not was, but going through a situation, and I reached out. You know what I mean? I think I reached out or she reached out. I'm not sure, but sis, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know what part of the country you're in, and let them know how we got in contact. Because I'm not sure if I reached out to you first or you reached out to me. So go ahead and introduce yourself, my sister.
Hello, everyone. Greetings. My name is Candace. I am in the Arkansas territory. I am a mom of one beautiful little girl. She's 5, kindergartner.
It's okay. Take your time, sis. Take your time. I mean, it's irrelevant, how we link. But the point is, the ancestors meant for for us to get in contact so that the world could hear your story because you are going through a situation and it's being kept underneath the rug. And what I mean by that is being dealt with from a private perspective, but we want to bring it to the attention of the public, and not just the public, but our indigenous brothers and sisters so they know what's going on. So, with that being said, you are in a situation right now. Now, tell us exactly what you're going through first, what's happening, and then how we ended up in that situation.
Right now, I'm going through a court case with the uh, circuit court. They are not allowing for me to have due process. I have not received any type of police report about the incident that happened. I am getting the runaround. I put in for the writ of discovery to challenge the jurisdiction because I am Chickasaw by my one of my grandmothers. My fifth great grandmother was a Chickasaw, and I also have Choctaw as well, but it's more predominantly Chickasaw.
Mhm.
The incident happened on October the 2nd at about 7:50
Mhm.
at my daughter's elementary school.
Mhm.
I was taking her to school like I normally would. We were at the intersection. I was waiting on cars to come from the opposite direction because we had to alternate the car lane.
Mhm.
I was at a stop sign. As far as I needed to go was to just go across the street and to park because the parking lot and the school was literally right across the street. As I was going across the street, there was a officer who was getting on his bike. He wasn't on it.
Mhm.
I didn't really pay that no mind, But I went ahead and I parked my car because I would normally park my car, get my daughter out, take her to the playground,
Mm-hmm.
kiss her goodbye, and get back in my car and go along my merrily way.
Mm-hmm.
But this day, when I parked, I had one of my legs out of the car, and I felt in my spirit that something wasn't right. I didn't know what it was,
Mm-hmm.
but something felt off.
Take your time.
The individual that was getting on his bike as I was crossing the street, the police officer, wound up coming behind me. And I'm at that time, like I said, I'm trying to get out the car so that I can get my daughter out the back seat. I step out the car and he's coming towards my car. And he's telling me that he needs to see my driver's license. I'm quite discombobulated because what could I have possibly done by going across the street and parking?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, because this threw me off, I said to him, I just need to take my daughter over to the playground. And I'll come back and I'll deal with this because it didn't make sense to me. So he told me to get back in the car. I got back in the car, but one of my legs was still outside of my conveyance. He told me, belligerently, by the way, that he needed my driver's license. And if I didn't give him my driver's license, he would tase me. My daughter was still in the back seat.
How old is your daughter?
She's 5 years old in
Okay.
kindergarten.
Okay.
And so I had a, I had a paper that is classified as uh, the Privacy Act, which denotes the difference between someone who is driving versus someone who is traveling. And I was traveling because I was not receiving any commercial commerce for taking my child to school. I was traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And that paper was given to me to give to an officer if I was stopped on an illegal stop.
So
With no limit.
who gave you that paper?
It was one of my friends that he's going through the process of getting everything as far as his um, nationality and everything like that taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
I would really prefer to leave him nameless if that's
Yeah, of course,
okay.
of course.
Okay. So I'm handing the paper to the officer. He pushes it out the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, sir, could you please read this? He pushed it out the way again. And he said, I need to see your driver's license. I said, I need to speak with your supervisor. And he said to me belligerently, I am the supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be your own supervisor, is what I'm thinking in my head. I need to speak with your supervisor, is what I readdressed.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I am the supervisor. At that time, he had already had his taser gun out.
Mm-hmm.
My door was open, and he tased me in my side.
Take your time. Take your time.
My daughter was in the car, still saying, Mommy, Mommy, what's wrong? I couldn't respond to her at the time because this was the first time I ever been tased.
Mm-hmm.
Then my left leg that was outside of my conveyance He picked my leg up and he was trying to pull me out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
I had at least enough strength to try to push myself because I was sitting in the driver's side seat of my conveyance. I was trying to pull my body back into the passenger side because I could already see that this was bad. He just tasered me
Mm-hmm.
unnecessarily. He's pulling and pulling on my leg. Then he takes my leg, and at first, when he was pulling, it was like this,
Mm-hmm.
but he pulled it to the right, all the way to the right, while and twisted my ankle as well as my foot. Then he put his body into my conveyance to grab onto my arm and said, "Come here, you B." He used the word,
Mm-hmm.
"Come here, you B," and grabbed me and completely dragged me out of my car. At this time, my daughter was still in the car, to my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Him and the officer that's normally at that particular school, they had me face down on concrete gravel, and they were both sitting on top of me with their knees. They were kneeing me and pinning me to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Both males,
Mm-hmm.
telling me to give them my driver's license while I'm pinned to the ground, concrete. And the one that was on my upper extremities, my back area, the one that pulled me out the car,
Mm-hmm.
he was punching me in my back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm screaming as best as I can because I was feeling like I was starting to black out. I was starting to see black. It was like fainting. And I'm saying, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And then I don't know what he took, if it was an instrument or what, but he started etching something in my back. And whatever it was sharp because it was painful.
So where's your daughter? I mean, where's your daughter during all this?
I'm not exactly sure if she's still in the car or
Mm-hmm.
if someone came and got her. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know at this time. Then they asked me again for my driver's license. And they told me that I was under arrest and that I was resisting arrest, even though they were sitting on my body.
Mm-hmm.
They told me to put my arms behind my back while I'm still pinned to the ground with my arms underneath me. Still trying to catch my breath. I finally got a chance to say, I can't move my arms. The individual, the officer that was on my upper part of my back, relieved me just enough so that I could put my arm behind my back. This was, like I said, in the morning time. There was parents there. The principal, I could see her, and she was right in front of me. I don't know exactly the distance. It was at least, because there was a car parked in the parking section that was in front of me, and then there was that little drive-through of the school. So, but she had a clear sight of me, and so anyway, they picked me up. I'm in handcuffs, both of my hands behind my back. No shoes on at all at this point because I had on the little flimsy flip-flop shoes. I was just trying to take her to school. I'm screaming, help me, because the cars are just going by. I don't see anyone take out their camera. No one stops. I made contact with this individual who was Black, but he had a European right next to him in the car. So he looked at me, but then he looked off. They wound up putting me into one of their vehicles. And the handcuffs were really tight. And I asked them if they could loosen them. One of the individuals that was there, he loosened them, but it seemed like they got tighter. They were waiting on the ambulance. The ambulance came and put a Band-Aid on one of my abrasions. I got the photos that they're not super graphic, but I was cut up on my knee, mostly on my knees. But I can hold on just a moment.
Yeah, people, just show it, put it in the camera, please. Take your time. I said, take your time.
Okay. These are I don't know how well it's showing up, but these are the photos. I swear.
Okay.
That was, I guess that's upside down. Sorry about that. It's my knee. It's my head where my head hit the concrete. I was then took into the detention center, and they bandaged my legs, which is these photos here. No.
Wow. Okay.
They just put ointment and those bandages on it. I got no medication for the pain. Okay. I complained about the pain.
So at that point, after the physical abuse, you still didn't know where your daughter was at that time. So when you got arrested, I mean, where was your daughter? I mean, they arrested you. Take me through the process. They arrested you and they took you where? And where did your daughter go?
My daughter, she wound up staying at school. She told me after I got released from jail that they had took her to the office to calm her down.
So they took your daughter out of the school. So they abused you, arrested you, and took your daughter to school.
Yes, I mean we were already in the parking lot at the school that she was attending at the time.
Okay.
So, like I said, I don't know who got her out the car. I'm only going by what she told me. They had took her.
And just so the audience know, this is in Arkansas, correct?
Yes, in Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay. All right, good. So they took your daughter to school and they arrested you. So when you got to the jail, what was the process there? Did you get out that same night? Did you see a judge? What happened?
I did not see a judge, not that night.
Okay.
They asked me medical questions, was I on drugs, that type stuff.
Mm,
They booked me. I was in a holding cell. I They didn't actually get me, I guess, changed over to the jail uniform
mm,
until it was after lunch, and I'm assuming that that was between 11 and 12. So from the time that all this happened, which was, like I said, around 7:50 in the morning, all the way up until around lunchtime, I was in a holding cell. And while I was in the holding cell at the Crawford County Detention Center,
mm,
the officer who assaulted me and hit me in my back and scratched me in my back
mm,
came was allowed to come to my holding cell and threaten that if I were to go anywhere near a school in the Van Buren area, any school,
mm,
high school, junior high, elementary, talk with the superintendent,
mm,
that he will put me back in jail.
mm,
I was in jail for a total of 13 hours. I was not able to walk on my own at all the whole time. Either I had to have someone to assist me as far as I'm holding them so that I can take steps at a time,
mm,
or else I was wheelchaired. I was told that if I did not sign the paperwork to be mugshotted and fingerprinted,
mm,
that I would have to spend an additional 4 days in jail.
mm,
So that was by duress.
mm,
They continuously kept putting my status as black,
mm,
and I continuously told them that I'm not black,
mm,
but that didn't matter to them.
mm,
They continuously did in opposition what I told them that I was not,
mm,
based on what they perceived me to be
mm,
versus what I actually verbally told.
mm,
Uh, when I got out, I I still wasn't able to walk. I still had to have assistance. My mother, she was the one who got me out. And I still to this day have pains, and it just happens just sporadically, that shoot through my knees, and it'll catch me.
mm,
And there has been a couple of times where I was either one time I was close to my daughter, and she saw that I was, or sensed that I was about to fall, and she kind of helped me up as best as she could. I didn't fall to the ground, but like I said, she held me up underneath enough to the point where I could kind of grab my footing.
mm.
Another time where I almost fell, I was close to a wall, so I was able to use the wall to hold me up.
Okay.
But I'm
So,
still not able to do normal activities.
mm,
I used to exercise.
mm,
I can't do that.
mm.
Not as far as with my legs, because they're not sufficient enough at this point. The strength is not there right
Okay.
now.
So let me backtrack here for a second, right?
Okay.
So that incident took place. Of course, obviously, you got abused, right? So that happened. Now they took your daughter to school. I'm assuming, did you pick her up from school or your mother picked her up from school?
Um, I was still in jail at that time. My stepdad, from what I had been told, had picked her up from school that
Mm.
day.
So your
Uh,
mother picked her up.
I'm sorry.
Your mom picked her up,
No.
or your stepdad picked her up. Okay, good, good.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
this is where I want to go there with this. So you got locked up, and then did you see a judge before you got released?
No, I
Okay,
didn't.
so you got locked up, and they let you go straight from the precinct.
Yeah, well, my mom bonded me out.
Oh, so your mom bonded you out, right? So after you got bonded out, okay, there's supposed to be a court proceeding. So have you gone to court yet?
I went to court on the 16th of October.
Okay.
I went in as, in propria persona sui juris
Mhm,
under, the Chickasaw Nation.
mhm,
The judge said that he didn't know what that meant.
mhm,
But at the in conclusion of that trial date, because it was an arraignment,
mhm,
uh, I walked out, and I've been out since.
mhm,
The prosecuting attorney uh, is trying to put in the assumption that I need a mental evaluation
mhm,
because I was wanting to represent myself
mhm,
on this case. Let me go back to what I was charged with because I didn't say.
mhm,
Speeding in a school zone, despite the
mhm,
fact that I never received a citation.
mhm,
I was charged with resisting arrest,
mhm,
even though they were sitting on my body. So
mhm,
I don't know how that was resisting, but that's what
mhm,
they put on the paperwork.
mhm,
Uh, Initially, it was obstructing government ordinances
mhm,
that was dropped.
mhm,
But the thing that they have me for right now is assault and battery on a police officer.
mhm,
I was not read my Miranda rights.
mhm,
I was not given the police report. Still to this day, they said that they can't give it to me because I'm one of the suspect. I'm the suspect in the case against one of their men.
mhm,
They told me to go to the prosecuting attorney's office.
mhm,
I went to the prosecuting attorney's office. I still have yet not received a police report.
mhm,
I'm not getting due process.
mhm,
They have not. I did challenge jurisdiction because I am a Chickasaw.
mhm,
They have not given me an answer or have proven that they have jurisdiction.
mhm,
But despite the fact of them not having the jurisdiction, they still continuously are pushing this agenda
mhm,
to have me psychologically evaluated.
mhm, mhm,
Because in my write up of my affidavit of truth,
mhm,
I had put that I am Chickasaw. I also
mhm,
said that I am indigenous to this landmass, and I
mhm,
said that they are infringing on my landmark,
mhm,
and I said that there are foreigners
mhm,
on my landmark.
mhm. All right. So
And
let
so,
me just let me interject here for a second because one person made a statement about correct paperwork don't work. Now let me just let you, the viewing audience, know this. The sister was within her rights. You see, a lot of you are looking at her and y'all assuming this Moorish thing. The sister never articulated herself, all right, and presented herself as Moorish. She told him that she was Chickasaw and she's indigenous to this land. All right, so let's not disrespect the sister's integrity. All right, that's number one. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, I'm not saying there's a few things that in terms of the process that may have had to be done because you have to properly put these people on notice. You see what I'm saying? It's one thing to say, but it's one thing to have an actual notice on file. So that's one thing. But I'm just saying that the sister was within her rights. Okay, she is absolutely right. Okay, there is no law. There's no constitutional law that says you have to have a driver's license to travel. That is a law. That is Supreme Court rulings. All right. So because these officers, okay, are not educated on law and all they push and practice is codes and ordinances, when they tell you, excuses of the law or ignorance of the law is no excuse, it applies to them as well. Okay. Now, if you're going to tell me, the public, that ignorance of the law is no excuse, then it applies to you as well. You see what I'm saying? So at the ending of the day, let us not attack our sister because she got you. You assuming she's a Moor. She never said that. You feel what I'm saying? But let me just digress for a second and ask you, sis, did you properly put these people on notice? Because it's one thing to say something and put something on the record. Because once you put something on the record, all right, and an unrebutted affidavit stands as truth, and that's law. So when you file, did you file your document? Did you put them on record? You know what I'm saying? But did you do that, or did you just get a piece of paper from somebody and started traveling with it without putting them on notice? That is my question.
I did not. I did not do that particular part properly.
Okay.
That was my.
That you see. So that.
Yeah. As far as the Privacy Act, I did not put them on notice prior to using that. No.
Okay. So you see, that's the thing. You know, a lot of times, you know, and I'm not faulting you for that, right? There's no blame, but a lot of times we run into people, all right, that have all these processes and all the answers to everything that they themselves haven't walked that walk. You see what I'm saying? And they put people in a situation, all right, to say, well, go test the waters, and you end up in situations, all right, and the person you got the paperwork from, did that person come to your aid? Is that person assisting you? You know what I'm saying? What is that person doing? Have that person even contacted you and say, well, you know what? Let me see if I could assist you.
That person actually has been helping me tremendously through this whole entire thing.
Okay, good.
And
that's good. That's
so,
good.
I mean, because like I said, they helped me with it was one person, but he has helped me with the writ of discovery, which has not been honored because they, like I said, they haven't given me any paperwork.
Right.
With the challenge of jurisdiction, because they did have that I was a Chickasaw, and just to clarify everything as far as my head wrap, it's for me.
Sis, let me interject. Let me interject. You don't have to explain anything about your head wrap to anybody. At the end of the day, I see you and you're my sister. I don't give a damn about the head wrap. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to justify that for nobody. You feel me? You are one of our sisters and you're going through a situation, and a lot of our sisters are going through that. It's not just you. Because there was another sister, you know what I'm saying, in Florida. You feel me? Everlasting Waters. She didn't have a head wrap, and they did the same thing to her. So this is something that these foreigners, these occupiers, are doing on our land to our brothers and sisters, and it's unconstitutional, it's unlawful, and we as a people, we have to stand up, all right, to support each other and make sure that we don't deal with this type of genocide and forced assimilation. So you ain't got to explain your head wrap to nobody, period, point blank. You did say you were Chickasaw, and that's all that matters to me. You're my sister. You feel me? So my thing is, how do we move forward from here? And how do we let these people know that you're not standing alone? That's all I care about. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, they want to put you in psych evaluation because that's what they do. They do this all across Indian territory. Anytime a brother or a sister stand up, you see what I'm saying, to declare who we are, they want you to think you're crazy. This is a script. So I'm not going to let anybody play victim, let our sister be victimized for standing up for doing what she was supposed to do, because it's her right. You see what I'm saying, to assert who she is, and they're supposed to respect that. Granted, okay, she didn't go through the proper procedures to put them on notice. It still doesn't negate the fact when she presented herself, they were supposed to respect her. You know what I'm saying? And don't put her on the ground, beat her up, tase her in front of her daughter, man. So anyway, sis, you know, my bad. You know, sometimes, you know, people just get to me when they start talking this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So go ahead with your story, sis. So they want to put you through psych evaluation. And I know you had mentioned a court date. And another thing I told you, whenever these people send you an affidavit or a summons, it's an invitation. And, you know, the truth of the matter is, when you don't respond, you acquiesce. Okay, so now you told me they sent you a summons, I think, to come to court for something, but you didn't go.
But I had it. It was the same day. Whenever I got it in the mail, was whenever I was supposed to actually be there.
Mhm.
And so I did not have any prior notice of really being able to react, to be able to put in emotion, or to be able to do anything
Mhm.
with it.
Mhm.
Uh, but I mean, and right now, because I realize that I'm not going to be able to receive my due process,
Mhm.
I'm actually putting a suit in against them
Mhm.
from the federal side of things,
Yes.
because
Yes.
that is my jurisdiction,
Yes. Yes.
being a native indigenous to this landmass.
Right. So you're absolutely correct, because once again, I mean, um, these people, especially on the local, whatever you want to call it, branch or jurisdiction, they are actually under the federal government. All right. They act like they are not, but they are. All right. They are all subdivisions of, mini corporations of the federal government. All right. And they are public servants. They are not above the law. They work for you. They work for the public. All right. They're acting in a fiduciary position. All right. Because they are actually trustees, and they're supposed to respect you, especially as an indigenous woman. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, well, for one, I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice. I just want to make that clear. But as an indigenous brother, all right, you have to stand your ground as an Aboriginal woman of this land. All right. And that's what's one of, for me, to tell your story so that brothers and sisters know what we are dealing with. Okay. It is not just you, it's all over Indian territory, Indian country. And they're not supposed to be doing that. But anyway, you said that you didn't have time send that document in, but it's never too late. Even when you're going before the court, you could actually go there early enough and put that on record. You see what I'm saying? So it's never too late,
Yeah,
because
I'm
what
actually
you do
working on
is
that right now. Because,
okay.
like I said, I missed it because I did not have enough time to be able to do anything with it.
Right.
So I'm working on that right now, that motion to strike,
Mhm.
and then I'm planning on putting it into then either today or tomorrow at the latest, because
Mhm.
I have to proofread it.
Right.
But yes, because like I said, I mean and one of the things that I'm noticing
Mhm.
is that they're sending me things that are not signed.
Mhm.
Because even whenever the prosecutor had sent the motion for the evaluation,
Mhm.
it was not signed.
Right.
And whenever I finally did get the letter from the uh, behavioral therapist,
Mhm.
it wasn't signed.
That is because they have no authority. They have no authority. You see, when you are alone, all right, and they feel like, oh, you're just a woman, you know what I mean? And with a woman, with a child, no protection, nobody there to stand with you. That's what they do. These people are cowards, okay? They're cowards. And what they do is they use force to intimidate people through fear, because what they're doing is unlawful, all right? And we have to make these things public. We have to let it be known, all right? No corporation could just send you some psych evaluation documents, okay? Now, remember, we have to be fair now, right? If the judge, okay, gave a judgment and that's what was supposed to take place and you didn't go, all right? Again, by law, you have acquiesced to that because you didn't rebuttal that. But at the end of the day, it should still be signed, because a corporation is a non-living entity, and someone has to sign on behalf of that corporation, because I need to know who I'm going to hold liable for violating my rights. So all that stuff for me, okay, it, it's a bunch of BS, honestly. But you have to be able to know how to deal with these people, all right, accordingly, because once again, don't take it for granted when they send you invitations. Okay? A summons is an invitation. Whenever they send you invitations, all right, definitely, okay, you have to respond to that. You feel what I'm saying? You have to respond to that. Okay? So where are we right now, and what's happening right now? And is there anything apart from what we are doing? Because like I said, once the video is done, I want to see if there's a way I could get that link, to maybe the sheriff or, law enforcement over there or somewhere, you know what I mean? And see if I could send that. So make them be aware that you are not alone. All right. So tell me what's happening right now. How is your daughter dealing with that? What's going on?
She's not dealing with it very well at all. Now, as the months are going, she's not as passive aggressive, because at first she either wanted to be really tight to me and very, very clingy, or she was very dismissive. And I realized that she's went through this just as well as I have. So I would not. I would just let her have her moment, because this is a lot for a 5-year-old to go through.
Right.
And on top of that, she was abused at that school. She told me later. So I guess as far as universal wise, in a way, it kind of had to happen so that I could get her out of that environment, because I didn't know that other things were happening to her. Because she told me, Mommy, I don't want to go to her teacher's school. I don't want to go to, Miss such and such a school. I kept saying, baby, why? Baby, why? She never told me. Whenever she told me is whenever I put her into a different school. But they were abusing her.
Yeah. And sis, like I said, I just want you to know that you are not alone. And once again, I'm reading some of the comments, you know what I mean? And especially one in particular from Creek Running Water, he's absolutely correct, because, one, you saying one thing he's saying, right? But there has to be a record, because now you could say, well, I told the officer this, or I said this and I said that. Now it becomes hearsay, right? My word against yours, right? But when there is documents that's filed, okay, I put you on notice. Whether you respond to the notice or not, that's not my business, all right? I'm putting you on notice, and you have 30 days to respond. If you haven't responded in 30 days, then it becomes your law, okay? It becomes your law. What a lot of people don't realize is this, we are the law. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the land that's the law. The soil is the law, all right? When your body goes back into the ground, where does your body go after we transition? It goes back into what? The land. So the land is the soil, and the soil is the body is the land. So you are the law. Okay, you are the law. So when you send your notices and your affidavits, you are making that law. And if they haven't rebutted it, then it stands as truth. Okay, so we have to get away from the always just talking. And I'm not talking about you, sis. I'm saying in general as a people, we have to just stop the talking and we have to do more of the doing. Okay, and that's how you set your law. All right, by putting them on notice. All right, with all due respect, that's what we have to do. You feel me, as a people. So I just want you to know that you're not alone. And that's why I reached out, because when I see things like that go, and I feel it hurts me, okay, as an Indigenous man, seeing my sisters going through this, especially with daughters and sons, and as men, if we cannot step up and do something. Now, I'm not in your area, you know what I mean? So there's only so much I could do, but I'm playing my part as a man. You see what I'm saying? Because now you're telling your story and we're able to make it public. So they know you are not alone. They know that other people know what's going on. So now they'll move with a little more caution. But everything that they are doing is unconstitutional, because for one, you have to put the burden of proof on them. Okay? Put the burden of proof on them. When you do your affidavit, Brother Creek, spoke of that eloquently. You have to have those 7 points and give them those 7 points, and they have to rebuttal every point by point, or else they have no standing. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, let them put the burden of proof on them. Prove to me I'm not this. Prove to me that I need a license to travel. You see what I'm saying? Prove to me that you could force me to step into your jurisdiction as an Indigenous woman of this land. They have to prove those things. And if they cannot prove it, okay, If within you give them a certain amount of time to respond and they haven't responded, you do a follow-up notice with an attachment. I sent you, hey, I sent you notice A. You haven't responded. You had 30 days or you had 15 days, whatever. Okay? If they default on the second notice, you send them a notice of default. Now, once that's done, okay, once that's done, your administrative process is complete. They haven't responded, they're in default. Now you could go to a court and get a judgment, and then you sue them. These people are not above the law. They're not above the law. And we got to stop letting them think that they are above the law. But my sister, you have to go through the process. Without process, there could never be progress. You see, a lot of us are looking for the progress, but we are not willing to go through the process. All right. And I commend you for trying, but there's certain things that need to take place. Again, your administrative process of default. All right. And then you have to, of course, use a notary. Okay. Because a notary, you know, is a high officer of the state, right? A notary is higher than a judge.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to make sure that your process is done correctly. You know what I mean? So when you go to court or you go before the court and you present yourself, you see what I'm saying? Then you have standing. All right. So right now you're dealing with the situation. They're trying to put you in what's called psych evaluation. You haven't gone to that. So do you know if there's a warrant that's out for your arrest?
Not that I'm aware of, not as of yet.
Okay. So again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. But if it were me, I would see if I could find out if there's a warrant for my arrest, because you don't want to be with your daughter and go through that situation again because there's a warrant for your arrest. All right. You want to make sure. And what you do is, again, if it were me, all right, I would be proactive and take the initiative. All right. And there are different divisions. All right. You have the Board of Commissions, because these people, again, they're not above the law. So you want to contact the Board of Commissions. All right. And you want to make a formal complaint. All right. You want to go to their superiors and make a formal complaint. All right. And like you said, you have taken it to the federal level. So that's a good thing. All right. But you want to make sure that your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. All right. So tell me where we are at right now.
Like I said, I'm putting in the motion so that I can be able to deal with the evaluation that I missed.
Okay.
Like I said, I simply missed it because I got the paperwork on the day that I was supposed to be there.
Okay.
And so I didn't have time to react. I didn't have time to do anything.
Yes. Okay.
Because I mean, it was already, the time was already lapsed before I even received it. So
and that's another trick that they do. All right. When they send you these documents, they stamp date the document. Okay. Let's say 2 weeks in advance or 3 weeks in advance, but they don't mail it out a day or two before, so you don't have time to respond. These people, man, they trust me, they're devils, and that's what they do. That's what they do. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm supposed to respond now. All right. You're not giving me any time to do it, so I don't have time to respond. So now they're gonna say you in default. You in default. All right. But it's never too late. You could always respond to that. All right. Respond to it. Okay. And you have to ask them again. Delegation of authority. Who give you the authority? Okay. Who gives you the authority to tell me, an Indigenous woman, that you have the right, okay, to request of me or demand of me a psych evaluation? You're going to have to prove to me that your corporation has been here from time immemorial.
Yes, because one of the things I had put in my initial filing, I did this on the 15th, which was the day before my court, because I was trying to get everything together. I had put in the Chapter 11, the law of belligerent, as well as the Clearfield Doctrine, which which says that they are a corporation, they are a private corporation, and they
Absolutely.
are of no better standing
Mm.
than you or I. Well,
Yeah.
we're actually higher because we actually have nationality that's here on this land. But as far as just, I guess, the average person, they don't have any more authority more than the average person.
Mm.
But if we as a people are thinking that we're black
Mm.
and we don't know anything, and we're clinging on to all this praying hope
Mm.
without having any factual knowledge,
Mm.
we're going to continue to be in this destitute way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, just make sure that you have it on record that you're an indigenous, woman, you're a Chickasaw, make sure you have that on record. All right. So and moving forward, they would have to prove that they have that type of authority or jurisdiction over you. It is never too late to start your administrative process. Do it the correct way. All right. And once again, like I said, we just building, sharing information. It's not legal advice. I'm not an attorney, but again, if it were me, those are some of the things that I would do. You know what I mean? To make sure that my status as an indigenous man is on the record. All right. So now, if the burden of proof is on you to prove that I'm not who I say I am. Okay. And these people, they have oaths. All right. They have bonds. Okay. You get their name, you get their oath, you get their bond, and you hold them responsible, liable for any harm that's brought to you. That's why they have bonds. Okay. They are violating. All right. And at the ending of the day, they are already paid by the federal government. They are not supposed to be doing anything for financial gain or any type of monetary or even gifts. Those are called bribes, and that is a crime. Okay. So
And that was one of the things that also was requested of them in that writ of discovery, is to be able to everyone with that was in the agency of all the individuals that was involved,
yes.
as far as the DOAO,
Mm.
is to be able to get their bonds, the judges,
Yeah.
the prosecuting attorneys,
Mm.
all officers and everything like that. And like I said, I haven't received anything.
Well, they have to. There are actually federal statutes that where they have to give you those things when you request it. All right. So when we get off, I'll definitely send you some information on that, so you'll have that to hold them to the law as federal employees. Okay. They have to, when you request their oaths and their bonds. All right. They don't have it. They don't. It's not a choice. They have to give it to you. You see
Now,
what?
is it a 30-day thing, or
No,
does
they
it have
supposed to give it. They're supposed to have it on site. They're supposed to have it on site. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna wait 30 days to get your oath. No, you're serving me right now. So if you're serving me right now, why do I have to wait 30 days to prove that you're in standing or you're in honor? No, I need that information immediately. You see, it's the games that they play. Is the games that they play. And I tell, and not to get off topic, because all this, is coherent to what we are talking about. That's why I tell a lot of our people, I don't have time for all the negativity, because our people are here going through some real life situations where our children are being faced with this type of nightmares. All right. And people on here spreading rumors and propaganda and fighting and debating and cursing each other out. And man, I can't deal with all that, because we got real work to do. Okay, we got real things to do. You feel me?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, sis, man, listen, like I said, behind, the cameras, if there's anything else, I could do to assist, I will. I have your email. I'm gonna send you those documents, all right, to show that they have to, okay, they have to, as public officials, they have to give you, surrender their oaths and their bonds, all right. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be posted. It's not a secret. It's supposed to be posted. And what a lot of people don't know is all these municipal entities, all right, they are already paid by the federal government to operate, to run the corporation, all right? So everything they are doing is private organizations that's raping the people, and that's actually unlawful. And there are laws that goes against that. You feel me? So the truth of the matter is our people once again perish for the lack of knowledge. That's what it is. And then you have all these so-called scholars up here that know everything when they don't know anything at all. Okay? So we have to deal with the law. So with that being said, sis, keep your head up. You got the support of all our brothers and sisters, okay, that's on this platform. That's another reason why I wanted to, invite you to tell your story so that you know there is more than just my energy, all right, standing behind you and on your behalf and sending that positive energy. And all the people that come against us, there will no weapons formed against us shall prosper. And that's just another weapon. And we're calling our ancestors, I'm saying, to deal with this beast. And just know that you and your daughter are going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? So in conclusion, is there anything you would like us to know that we haven't covered or mentioned, or anything else that's going on you would like to bring light to?
No, I just want to say thank you to you, because I've been dealing with this, like I said, since October the 2nd, which was the day that it occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been getting a lot of pushback from a lot of people that I thought in the community, new people. The movers and the shakers are not moving and shaking anything.
Right.
And so to feel like you're alone amongst people who say that they're somebody,
right,
to me it's disgusting.
Right.
Because that's not being authentic.
Right.
And so, like I said, if I can, become a part of any organization that's willing to uplift who we are as Indigenous people, whether you be of Chickasaw, Choctaw, or anything of Indigenous, I'm about that, because we gotta save our people. It destroys me every single time that I see on the news that another one of us over something frivolous, because they just want it to, whether it's a misabuse or a murder. We gotta stop this. We gotta stand up together as a whole.
Yes.
And I just want to say thank you so much for just putting me on live and listening to my story.
Oh, you're absolutely
so much.
Yes, you're absolutely welcome. And sis, I tell people, one of the biggest gifts, in being a communicator is the ability to listen. You see, so many of us, we out here always trying to let people think what we know and who's the best scholar. But how many of us actually take the time to listen? You see, and that's what differentiates me from a lot of people. I take the time to listen. Okay, listen to what's being said. Listen to what our people are going through, the emotions. All right, because I have to internalize it to feel it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we do. You feel me? So you're absolutely welcome. This is not just a video or a live to come and say, well, now Chief Kalanago is doing. No, behind the scenes, I'm going to do everything in my power to assist you, because that's when the real work begins. And any brother or sister who is aware or have the capability or the knowledge or expertise, okay, in being able to assist our sister, all right, by all means, send me an email. I'm going to put my link in the email below, and we could converse with our sister. We could conference with our sister and assist her. It's not even just about her. She got a 5-year-old. And if we as people, or we as men, women, whatever, okay, if we cannot stand up and support each other, then like I always say before, we might as well give this up. We might as well give this up. So I just want you to know that you are not alone. You got my support, and I'm certainly sure I could almost speak for everyone on this live right now that you have this support as well. All right. And behind the scenes, I'm definitely going to play my part. All right. And whoever else is willing to assist, they will reach out to me, and we're going to see how we could, eradicate this frivolous charges. All right. And the abuse that you went through. And then we'll do a follow-up video after we have gone through the lawful and legal process of vindicating you from the hands of this beast. All right. So I'm sending you a lot of energy to you and your daughter. And brothers and sisters, thank you for tuning in. And sis, man, like I said, may the ancestors be with you. And when we get off the live, I'll give you a quick call because I know you got some other things to do, but I'll give you a quick call to see how, if there's any way we could assist you in any way. So thank you, and much peace and love to you. All right.
Same to you. Peace and love. Thank you, everyone.
All right. You're absolutely welcome. All right. Take care. All right. So brothers and sisters, man, you know what I mean? This is what this is all about. You feel what I'm saying? We as a people, you know, we have to do something, man. You know what I mean? We got to do something because I keep telling y'all, we are all that we have. Okay? We are all that we have. Nobody else is going to stand for us. All right? Nobody else is going to stand, is going to do it for us. If we don't do it for ourselves, then what is the purpose of all of we doing this? We cannot focus on the negativity, man. All right? We got to bring some light and love to our people. You feel me? So once again, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I'm not going to run this whole thing out. No, this is not a build about nothing else. I just wanted the sister to come tell her story. Let y'all know that a lot of our brothers and sisters are going through that same situation across Indian territory. And these people are violating us as indigenous people. All right. And it's time that we take a stand. It's time. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I appreciate love you guys once more. And for those of you who could assist or willing to at least, you know, just give the sister some type of assistance. All right. By all means, my email is going to be in the link in the video. And I thank you much for tuning in. All right. I'm not sure if I'll do another bill later. It's possible, but I just wanted to come out here and put that information out there. All right. Peace and love.